I just wanted to talk to the camera, and I think this video is for myself. Why am I feeling so... What the fuck? I don't know why, but I'm about to cry right now. So crazy. Like, I don't know why I'm crying. Okay. Like, I don't understand why that just happened. Because I feel fine. I feel fine. I feel fine. I feel fine. Like, I feel fine. It was crazy because I just wanted to record like what I'm feeling right now. And like, I'm not sad or anything, which is why I don't know why I'm crying. I've been feeling like a nervous feeling, which is really crazy right now because now the feeling is gone. Like, my stomach feels relaxed. I just don't understand what's happening right now, but I just wanted to talk about like what happened to me today. Nothing like major happened. It was just like small things. Like, I woke up this morning and I felt nervous, like nervous and fearful, like more fearful, like I was afraid and scared, but I didn't know what. And last night I had made plans to myself, like, you know, leave this room, because even though I'm in a whole different country, like, I really haven't explored, like, I haven't explored anything else. Like, I haven't gone to the beach. I haven't I haven't gone to other temples and things like that. And just like, for some reason, when I got here, not like that my expectations were like, what's the word? Like, Indonesia failed my expectations, because it didn't. I think I just changed. I think I changed. Before, when I was coming to, like, before when I wanted to travel, I was really into, you know, seeing these beautiful landscapes and sceneries, and I need to stop saying seeing these beautiful landscapes and sceneries, and going to, you know, take these really nice photos to post so people can see what I'm doing. But now I just feel so like superficial and fake, and like, I'm okay with just going to wherever place I'm going to and just like, you know, sitting there and not taking a picture and not recording it. But like, in the back of my mind, like, what I want to record for is like for my mom to see like where I'm at. Like, when I think about recording, it's just recording so like my mom or family can see, and not for like, you know, for show. It's not for show. And you know, me posting these videos to YouTube, I felt at first like, oh, you know, this would be like the start of my YouTube thing, because I've always wanted to do YouTube, because I really enjoy like I do really enjoy recording like what I'm seeing and what I'm doing, but it was low-key showing, like flipping on for show. But like, when I had the intention of doing that, it felt so fake. So these last couple of videos were like me being real, but in the moment, like recording what was in the moment, like nothing was really happening. So it's just like, I'm not gonna like really fake and make trying to make fake content for a video. So everything that I've recorded was more like, me experiencing something and showing the experience. This is not what I got on the camera for, but I wanted to talk about what happened today. But I was feeling like this fear and nerves feeling, and I wanted to force myself to leave because I wanted to go to this place. So I left this morning and I was trying to get a car, and I couldn't get a car to Gojek for some reason. It was like 10, I tried like 4 or 5 times to get a car and it didn't work. So I tried the other app, which is called Grab, and I got a car almost immediately. And when I'm getting there, the driver's asking me to walk to the main road. And I'm like, all right, whatever, it's like a 2-minute walk. So I'm walking down the road and I have like this nervous, fearful feeling in my stomach, but I'm just like, not ignore it, but like, don't feed into it. And as I'm walking, I'm almost feeling like not paranoid, but like on edge. Like I'm fearful. Yeah, I'm on edge. So like this leaf dropped and it like frightened me a little bit. And I'm walking and I hear like some like leaves crackling, and there's a stray dog. So I was like, oh God. And it immediately like gets aggressive and charges at me and like barks and starts growling. So I'm just like, I was like, oh, here we go. It's like, now I'm like, and I'm afraid, like super afraid, like my knees get weak and stuff like that. And I immediately just had like a flashback, like fear of when I got chased by this stray dog when I was like 13, 14. It chased me, and like the stray dog when I was like 14 or whatever came and jumped at me, and it scared me, and I pushed it away, and it came at me again. I started running, and the person I was with was like, stop running, stop running. My friend Sean, he was like, stop running, and I stopped, and it bit me, and it made me run again. So like when this dog now is charging at me, it's like immediately like that. I'm like, don't be fearful, because they can sense fear, and I'm like, I'm already feeling fearful, and I'm like trying to calm myself, but I just keep walking, like I ignore the dog. And then I'm like, just keep walking. Don't make like don't show fear. So I just keep walking, even though I'm feeling very, very afraid. And in that same moment, a motorbike comes down, and the lady on the back smiles at me, and I'm like, and I feel like a sense of relief, because I'm like, thank God, like that would like either push the dog away from me, and then the Grab that I was getting arrives like almost immediately as soon as I get to the thing. So I get in the car, and I'm like shaking, but I just wanted to look like I feel like I'm calm, but I don't know how my face looks right now. I feel like I was just like, so I probably look, I don't know how to look. So I get in the car, and the guy's like, oh, do you know that there's a taxi service here where you're staying? And I'm like, oh, I don't know that. And he was like, yeah, something taxi service. And I don't know, he started talking about taxi mafia. Like there's a taxi mafia here in this area. And that, I don't know if he's talking about all through Bali or just in this place in Uluwatu where I'm at, and how the taxi mafia overcharges people to take them places. Like if I wanted to go to, I think maybe say the airport or something, they would charge like 300,000 to like 400,000 to get to the airport, which is about $30 to $40, I think, about that. And saying that it's supposed to be like cheaper. So that immediately made me think about like the society, like I don't know how to explain, like the war going on with money here. It made me think about like Uber and Lyft, and then like the yellow cab system in New York, where a new company comes in and provides more job opportunities, but is also slighting the other competitor. And it made me feel bad, because I'm like, all these people need to make a living, And I don't know, I felt bad for like being the consumer in this like modern society. But I'm like, I personally didn't do anything wrong because this man that's driving me also needs work too. And it's like, I don't know. It was like that's what I was feeling on the way there. And I was still feeling really, really nervous. And I was just trying, I was just like aware of the feeling. Like, why am I feeling like this? Why do I feel so, why do I feel so fearful? Like, why is my stomach like this? So as we're driving there, the guy's like, oh, we make this turn. He was like, a shortcut. I was like, oh man, like, is that what this was? Like, am I about to get kidnapped? And I'm just like, in broad daylight, it's so bright. And I'm like, but this street is this back road street. And like, he had slowed down the car. And I was like, am I about to get abducted? But no, it was just like, we going over a bridge. And it's like, stop. I'm like, stop doing that. Stop, putting this idea on this man. And this man's not doing anything. So I was like, let it go. But I'm like, not that I'm anticipating being taken. I'm just like low-key anticipating the fear that I'm feeling in my stomach. So needless to say, nothing happened. Everything was fine. And I get out and I get to the place that I was gonna have breakfast at. And while I'm sitting there, everything's fine. And I'm trying to like not be in my head, because I've been in my head lately about just like being an outsider here. And like, no one's been rude to me up front. It's just like, I don't know if I'm reading too much into people, or it's just me like projecting feelings that I have inside onto other people. But when I'm like staying on the road, I'm like looking down so I don't make eye contact with people, so I don't have to internalize or feed into whatever I witness. I notice that I'm doing it. I'm looking down at the ground. So I'm basically purposely trying to ignore any stares or anything that people are doing to me, because when I do make eye contact with people and they are staring at me, it's awkward. And like, it's honestly just awkward. And not that I don't like it, because it's like, why are you staring at me? And like, what are you thinking? And like, I can't control what people are thinking about me, but I guess it's like, I don't know, I just want people to have good intentions, because that's what I have about other people. And so yeah. So now I'm at this cafe and I'm still feeling like I'm in my head, and I'm just trying to calm down, like, just be normal, eat. No one cares. No one cares. So I eat, I order my food, and the food comes. And while I'm eating, I eat everything, everything's fine. A stray dog comes into the restaurant, and it immediately gets me scared. I'm like automatically scared. I'm like, why am I scared? I'm like, don't make eye contact with it, even though I'm like consciously following the dog in my head, like, but I'm also trying not to like, I'm like frozen, but I'm like following the dog. So then the dog leaves, and I'm like, since I don't want to turn around and look at it, I'm like, again, like, let these feelings go. Why do you still feel so nervous and fearful? And I just try to ignore it. And I'm like, enjoy your time here. Because I now immediately wanted to leave and go back to my accommodation, but I forced myself to stay there longer. Like don't let the fear take over. Don't let the fear take over. But it's also like fear. Like, I know like fear also comes from your stomach, but your intuition also comes from your stomach too. And I'm trying to figure out if that's the feeling that I'm feeling. So I'm like, is my intuition telling me to do something? Like, my safe haven here now is my accommodation. And in my head, it's just like, I'm trying to force myself to do more things, to be uncomfortable, to, grow from this experience, because I could easily just sit in my room for weeks on end. Because, like, I can get delivery, I can do everything. And, like I said earlier, for some reason now, I don't have the desire to, like, do touristy attractions. Like, it just feels empty. So it's like right now I'm like in this new country, but I have no desire to like do touristy things. Like when I'm even and when I'm in the city area and the touristy areas, like not that I feel disgusted because of like the city is dirty or something like that. It's not that. It's just like I'm not attracted to what's happening right now. Like it feels like nothing. It honestly just feels like nothing. So I'm like, me going to these cafes and everything. It's like, oh, it's a cafe with a different interior, but it's still coffee. I'm like, okay, I'm drinking coffee, and I'm, I don't know. It's just like I feel like it's something is lacking, and like I'm not being fed here, like I thought I was. And it's either because it's like, oh, what I think I'm supposed to be doing is just like, going out, being touristy, doing vacation-y things, but I don't feel like I'm on vacation. This does not feel like a vacation to me. I just feel like I'm on a journey. And I feel like when I'm trying to, feed into like, oh, you deserve this relaxation. Like, what am I relaxing from? Like, as soon as I left and felt on the plane, I was already calm. Like, the feeling that I had from America was like, finally, you're leaving. And now that I'm here, I feel very comfortable. But like, I feel very comfortable here. I don't feel like, oh, I need to leave. It's just like I'm now having these nervous feelings, like towards the end of my trip. Like the first 2 weeks, I was fine. I didn't have these fear feelings at all. I was not feeling paranoid. I don't feel paranoid. I wasn't feeling fearful, but now I am. And what? I don't know where I was, but anyway, back to being in a cafe. So that dog showed up once, and I was like, calm down. And then the dog came back again, maybe 10 minutes later, and then it made me scared again. So I was like, you know what? Let me leave, because I don't like the feeling that I'm having and the energy that's around me. But it might eventually cause something. So let me go back to my accommodation. So after I saw the dog again, actually the second time the dog came to me and it stood at my table, and it's like sitting like, so if I'm facing this way, like head on, the dog is sitting like this, like sitting next to my table, like this black dog. And I'm like, do not make eye contact, don't look at it, because it's like it's looking for food, it's looking for something, and I don't want to give it whatever it's looking for, like the attention. I don't want to feed into it or nothing. So this time the dog leaves again, and I'm like, I don't know if it's an area XYZ. I was scared to even get up to pay, because what if it was behind me? And so I just try to calm myself down, get up, and I pay, and then I leave. So now that I'm waiting to walk to the car, my first immediate thought was this dog. Like, where's this dog? But needless to say, it wasn't there. I get in the car, and we go back home. And again, I'm still having this fearful feeling all the way until I get back to my place. And now that I'm even back in my place now, after I come back from the cafe, I'm still sitting with that feeling. So I'm like, well, what is this? So I look up nervous feeling in stomach, and it's like, oh, this is anxiety. You're having anxiety. And I was like, from what? Like, I used to suffer from like severe social anxiety, and like I feel like I am having like mild forms of that, but I wasn't identifying with it. It was more like I wasn't afraid to be outside. I'm just more being in my, it's like, what am I trying to say? Before, like with social anxiety, it's not social anxiety. It's not that, because it's not the same feeling. Like if it was social anxiety, I wouldn't have been able to get dressed to go outside. It was more me being in my head, like being, I think, negative towards myself. Which is, I think I am being negative towards myself. But, what else? Yeah, so I get back. I'm still here. I'm here having that feeling. and I look up and it says it's anxiety. And I'm reading and I'm like, okay, people are having anxiety, but these people are not really, they're not really saying anything. A lot of them like, oh, it's just anxiety, take medication, or it's anxiety, take a walk, or blah, blah, blah. I'm like, all right, I understand it's anxiety. So I look up nervous feeling spiritually. And it's like, oh, this is part of your spiritual awakening and stuff like that. And that basically was like one analogy the person used was like, imagine being a phone and you're plugged in and you have all this power and your body's basically just buzzing. Like, that's what it was. And I was like, that's what I felt like, because like honestly, while I was reading it, my arms were shaking, like full of like of the nervous feeling. So I'm just like, I did feel like I was buzzing low-key, like, because I'm like literally shaking. But even though I felt nervous and fearful, there was nothing to be afraid of in my room. So I'm just trying to digest what this feeling is and why I'm feeling like this. And it was more like, oh, you're going through a spiritual awakening, but anxiety can happen, but it doesn't need to happen. But I don't know, I was having like, even though I felt like I was getting the answer I kind of needed, I just didn't want to talk. I mean, I just didn't feel like reading it right now. So I stopped. Like, I read some of it and I was like, I just want to talk about the feeling that I was having. So I tried to call my sister, but I think she was asleep. And then I called my mom, and she was talking. But she also said she also thought this was also a spiritual thing. And like, while she was speaking, it was making me like rethink of like everything that was happening. So it's just like, one, I'm feeling nervous walking outside because in my mind, like, what am I thinking about? Like, my presence here. And then two, I see this dog and I feel like the dog is the negative energy like coming at me. And my response to it was walk past it, don't show fear, just keep going. And in that same instance, a motorbike comes, like, to push that negative energy away while smiling at me, is what I saw. So I was like everything's gonna be fine, just like, just keep going, like, you're gonna be okay. Because my mother was also saying, like, if the dog wanted to attack you, it could have, and it didn't. It was just like barking, like, how negative people just like trying to attack you. And me not feeding into the energy, I was fine. And then immediately this positive energy, which came in and could have either pushed the dog away from me, like, everything was fine. Like, in that immediate instance, like, a bite came, I felt calmer, like, it calmed me down. Like, thank God the dog's probably not following me anymore. And the lady was also smiling at me when she walked by. Like, she didn't have to smile. People don't have to smile at you. Even if it was like a small little gesture, like, she could have just drove by. People do that all the time. People just drive right by me. But she was just like, being friendly about it. So I'm taking that as in, like, just, it's okay, just keep going. Like, even if there's negative energy or negative people, you don't have to feed into that, and everything will be fine. So that's what I was taking, like, that's what I thought of, like, while my mother was talking to me about, a spiritual thing. Like, I don't know, I forgot what she was talking about, like, what a spiritual, I don't remember what she was saying, but like, as she was talking to me, that's what I was having in my head. Like, that's what I was thinking of while she was like talking. So I really felt like talking to the camera about this. I'm not sure if I'll post this video or not, because I don't know, but as of right now, crying, like, that weird crying moment that I had, because I wasn't crying of like sadness. I was not sad. The nervous feeling in my stomach is gone. Like, my stomach feels calm, but it also feels calm. Like before, my stomach was feeling tight and nervous, but right now, when I first started talking, it was crazy that my stomach was literally calm. It felt relaxed. But yeah, I think I'm gonna upload the video just because I don't have this space on my phone. But I don't know if I'll ever post it. But welcome to my TED Talk. Bye.